Hi viewers, welcome to this particular slot wherein we'll discuss a lot of talks and today on our episode on Quick Talk with Rajvardhan, we have with us CA Veerendra and not so very good friend of mine because I've known him hardly for 2 days by now and this is the first time I'm talking to him in fact on the call other than texting and a really funny way in which how we got to know. I had a student whom I had taught 2015 sometime, that's basically 5 years ago now, and this person whom you see on next to me, CA Virendra, is a LinkedIn friend or say LinkedIn connect to that student of mine. And this guy actually helped out that student of mine in getting what is a few job aspects and everything. And then my student shared this guy's name and then profile with me, saying that he's a very interesting guy. You would have to talk to him. And the moment I spoke to him, I found it like, oh god, like this is a guy who's supposed to be talking and addressing lots and lots of people. So here I am today bringing CA Virendra in front of all of you. And the interesting aspect, as I mentioned it to you in the beginning, is that CA Virendra has done his industrial training in IBM. And as an article student myself, during my articleship life, I always had this thought like, how do people get into industrial training? Is it worthwhile doing? Like, should I do it? Or what is advantage of doing? What is disadvantage of doing? Everything, but I never really found anyone who could answer these questions to me. So if you also have these questions with you today, we have CA Virendra who will answer all these questions to us. CA Virendra, thanks for accepting the invitation and then being part of the show. Firstly, heartily
It's my
welcome.
pleasure, Rajavardhan. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Virendra, when did you first hear about industrial training? Like, did you hear it in your class 10 or during foundation or inter, or only when you got into articleship? Whom did you hear it from? And yeah, tell us about
No,
it.
till the time it cleared my IPCC, I don't know about industrial training. The first
Huh,
time after completion of IPCC, I went to Chennai for searching articles.
huh,
So there, I went to Chennai Institute, our office, ICA office there. So
huh.
on notice board, I went for noting of vacancies of CA firms advertising there. So on that notice board, I got on a letterhead IOCL. Their industrial training. That's the first time I heard about the word industrial training. Till now, I don't know anything about it. So later, I inquired with my friends, colleagues, and all. So they told me it's for CA students only, but it's only the final articles we can go for industrial training. So that's the way the first instance I got
So
to know
all
about the
of you
industrial
out there who
training.
are thinking about industrial training, a very important point is you cannot start your articleship with industrial training. You would have to do articleship and then you can do industrial training only in the last year of articleship.
Correct, final year of articles.
Huh. So how did you apply? Like basically, though you knew it right after your IPC, you had to do your articleship. So how did you apply? And yeah, tell us more about how did you apply for your industrial training?
No, regarding that, I spoke to a lot of CS who are seniors to me, like
Huh.
articles, friends in PG. So
Huh.
maybe like CA Club India, ICA portal. So privately and from in company's career website actually, they used to publish that industry training vacancies. So I used
Oh,
to
can you
go to a lot
specify
of
the website again? Can you
sources.
specify the website again for all the viewers out there?
CA Club India or SIRC portals. So we have 5 branches, right? EARC,
Huh,
NIRC.
huh,
So
huh, huh.
respective branches they used to publish that advertise those vacancies in their portals. So it might be some in Google, maybe in company website, respective company website, or you want to pursue the industrial training. So there are a lot of sources like seniors also. Some people used to give the advices where to go on, give us some references and leads related to it.
So, though you people are
So
aspiring to join industrial training, you would have to get the information about it. As CA Virendra just specified, you would have to be following SIRC website, CA Club India, and you might have a couple of other new portals also where this updates about industrial training keep coming, and you'd have to stay in touch with them and then keep updated. Is what Virendra is trying to tell.
yeah,
And
probably
Virendra,
now it's in probably on LinkedIn we'll get a lot of updates related to it actually as of now because at that moment when I searching for articles, it lot LinkedIn is not much.
ha ha
I
ha.
don't. I'm not aware of it actually. So even in on LinkedIn also you'll find that vacancies published by
And I'll
company
post
people.
LinkedIn profile of Virendra in the description. You guys can follow him, and if
Sure,
he
sure.
gets to know about any opportunities, he'll definitely keep you guys posted about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely, definitely,
huh.
Rajvardhan.
And I personally see that it's a very big move, like moving from your articleship to industrial training. Did you have like
Hmm.
doubts, like okay, should I go to industrial training, or basically you would have done with 2 years of articleship? You did you feel like okay, fine, let me complete one more year, no big time, let me continue my articleship. So did you have confusion choosing between industrial training and articleship?
Yeah, in initial days, seriously to say, I was very confused actually because there is very less people who are speaking positively about industrial training. All the people, seniors who are there, everyone is caring me like your principal won't give permission, and corporates will they will slag you like anything. So
Mhm.
complete negative. Only few people like giving suggestions like, okay, it's better to, I mean, it's good thing to pursue industrial training kind of thing. So on my own, starting initial from first year of articles, actually, I'm keeping an idea of going for industrial training. So I keep on working on it. Actually, I'm speaking to a few friends. So just like I'm googling it, what are the advantages or what are the companies. So at the end of the day, I decided that I need to add some value to my resume, just some brand name. So I want to have some unique preference out of among the all the group. So then I decided to go on, actually. So after having all the pros and cons related to it.
Okay. So if I can name 10 of my friends, not even one among the 10 is anyone who's done industrial training. So CA Veerendra is my 11th friend. Like he's the one out of that 11 people who has actually done industrial training. And that's actually, as you told, no, it adds a lot of value to CV as far as I personally believe. Because
Yeah, yeah.
now the moment I see, I feel like, okay, leave the rest of the things assured, what you've done, rest of the things assured. The moment you say you've done industrial training, that caught my attention. Like, oh God, this guy has done industrial training, something that none of us have done. And you told us about seeking permission from your principal. Now, first thing
Hmm.
is we deciding that we want to do industrial training. Second thing is
Hmm.
convincing our principal. So that's very tricky. Now, how was it? Like, did you like go to your principal and then give him a surprise, sir, I'm leaving? Or what did you tell to your
No,
principal? How did you convince him?
no, no, as per ICA rules, we need to inform the our principal as an intimation, actually, 3 months
Hmm.
prior completion of second year of articles. It means
Oh,
after completion
so
of
you
one year
should
and nine
inform
months.
them 1 year, 9 months. Huh.
Yeah, 1 year 9 months. If it is good rapport with your principal, even 1 month also they will agree. But
Huh.
as per rules, it's 3 months, actually. So it's an option, not mandatory thing again. So you need to intimate your principal about your interest of going for industrial training. So I thought of speaking how to approach my principal. So I was advised asking my friends and colleagues related to it how to approach ma'am. So because everyone is saying like no principal will allow you after having training you or 2 years of articles, and they won't leave you on simply. So everyone is caring related to it. So I was also a bit tense, actually, before telling to them. So at the end of that, I mean, on the fine day, just I chose she was in a fine mood. So I went to my mom and I tell to her regarding my interest on this training, and she, to my bit surprise, she was very happy and she completely supported me related to it.
Oh, that's nice. Because
And
my
she
my
not
first
even.
my first thought about industrial training was the first time I heard very clearly from a person was my principal. Like after I cleared my CA IPCC, when I went to
Hmm,
interview for articleship, my principal told me first thing, okay,
hmm,
Rajvardhan, will you stay with me for 3 years or would you leave me because you got some industrial training opportunity? So that's the first time
hmm.
I actually heard like, oh, fine, industrial training is actually real. It is not books. So my principal told me very clearly on the first day of my interview that you should not quit and then go to industrial training. So, had you given heads up to your principal first year only, like, okay, fine, after 2 years, I'm going to industrial training? Did you tell them?
Uh, no, I didn't inform them. Just I have an idea or I have a plan of going there, actually, because uh, don't know what's going to happen in future. So just I had a set of plans to go to industrial training. So I made a plan later, but I didn't inform anyone because I'm also not sure about it because I don't know anything at the time of joining. Just I know there is opportunity called industrial training, and it has been in final year of articles. I thought it's a long way to go, 2 years of articles. So I didn't inform them because I
Uh,
too I'm not 100% not sure related to it. So I
hmm.
thought of working on it in 2 years of articles, and I
Okay.
finally fixed it to go it.
What happened
I
is
fixed the option
basically
of.
Virendra initially knew about industrial training, but it took two. It thought like 2 years is too much time. Let me decide casually. But that 2 years went like a flash. He spoke to his principal, and everything happened fine.
Correct.
Now you did 2 years of articleship in a firm and then switched to industrial training. Now, can you
Hmm.
just tell me like how is it like hugely different articleship and industrial training? How different is it?
Yeah, it's completely different
Huh.
perspective, Raj. Actually, the thing is mainly two things I noted out, actually observed there. The thing is when you go to industrial training, usually in an article during article period, whenever we go to client office and all, we need to think of from auditor perspective because we're auditors, right? From client is a different party for us. But as an industrial trainee, you are the client, and some PwC big guys will come to you. PwC, maybe some other top
Huh.
firms will come to you, and you need to be like in a client's shoe. You need to wear in the shoes of
Be in the
clients. Actually,
client.
you need to give the
Yeah.
data. So I was
Mm.
thinking, yeah, yeah, correct. I was thinking when I was an article or going as a team lead, I was thinking why they're taking this too much of time for a little bit of information. But as in a client
Mm.
shoes, I understood what the pressure, what the hierarchy they need to follow, actually. So it's a completely different perspective. And one more thing I've observed it, uh, you need to it is a different learning experience for you because in articles time maybe hardly some 3 4 CS you will be encountered with to work with, actually. But industrial training completely as a set of, you can get an idea how a CA can go through, how a CA will work after completion of CA. So you'll get an idea how it will move on department to department. So what is the hierarchical level? So what is the kind of work the departments like transfer pricing, different views and different. You'll get a lot of learning experience related to it.
That's really nice to hear. And basically, what
Mm,
happens is during your articleship, when we go on audit, we basically blame the client. No, client didn't give that
correct.
information. Client this
A
didn't give
lot of
this
times.
information. So client gave wrong information. So my financials are wrong. You can easily blame. But when you go to the shoes of industrial training, from what I heard from you, you will be the person who will be blamed. So you have like
Yeah,
kind of
correct.
more. So maybe in the articleship,
Correct.
you are like an evaluator who's correcting answer sheets, and when you become an
Hmm.
industrial trainee, you all of a sudden become a student who's writing exam.
Correct. Exactly. It's completely different. In opposite way, you need to stand up
uh,
before the auditors and all, and a client's point of view.
Okay. Talking about this, no, that like it's like doing industrial training is almost like writing an exam. We know that
Hmm.
by the time we're done with second year of articleship, we will be eligible to write our CA final after 2.5 years of articleship. Like two and
Correct.
a half
Correct.
years is
Correct.
over. Earliest of May or November, after 2.5 years, we'll be eligible to write. So after
Correct.
two
Correct.
years, you are actually seeing your final so close. It's right in front of your nose.
Hmm.
It's right in front of your nose there. It's so close. At that point of time, if you take industrial training, it is how impactful is it on your final? Because what I've heard from people is they will not give you leave, you will not be able to write your
Hmm.
final
Correct. Correct.
first attempt, you would have to skip that attempt because like 2 years over you just joined. Even if it is 6 months, like in the eighth month or seventh month, you'll be eligible to write final
Correct. Correct.
because you would
Hmm.
not give sufficiently when it's a new place. You might be so pressurized and you might get so less leave that you will not be able to write your final in the first attempt. So what is the impact that industrial training has on final exams, CA final?
No, because I have thought of going for industrial training from initial of articles, as I told earlier. The
uh,
thing is, I plan during the time of interview only because we need to attend the interviews right during the 3 months of intimation. What I told
uh,
earlier. So I was planning for the interview. So during the interview time only, we need to speak to our industrial training company, the client who are going. So we need to discuss about each and every terms like how many months of leave they are going to allow to us because it's a different, it's individual policy of the every company. It's
correct.
not mandated like this month of this time of month they need to give the leave. So it might be 1 month, 3 months. So as per your convenience, you need to speak to that company. So as the main advantage in the industrial training is we most of the 98% you will have only 5 days of working days. So we'll have a weekends of Saturday and Sunday. So there you can spend
Mm.
time on classes if you want to, and if you want to go for revision studies. So that will be a big advantage when compared to CA articles because in articleship most of the times even sometimes Sunday also in terms of
Mm.
peak time we need to go to office and we need to spend the time. So I face a lot of struggle during that articles period because even on Sundays also I have continuous classes from morning to evening. So only by the time evening I will completely rain out. So that will be advantage to us. And regarding this, what type of impact in the sense, just we need to plan it accordingly, Rajvardhan, related to it. There is
So it's
not
like
much that, like what we need.
we cannot start planning 1.5 years done and then now I'm saying industrial training. Maybe if you have to take
No, no.
industrial training, you have to plan your classes and then you would have to be mentally prepared from the first year of articleship is what
Correct. But
that's better.
I will advise like having finished off almost half of your subjects, or if you are planning for both groups, I suggest to finish all their classes at least, or else half of your classes
Before joining
before
industrial
coming to
training.
industrial training.
Mm.
Correct. So that maybe you can join in the class also in the morning and evening, like online classes, or you can go for again live classes in the morning and evening. But I feel like you'll be a bit pressurized in that moment because the final life articles, right? You need to balance both the work and studies actually. So I
Um,
feel it's advisable to finish as much as possible the classes and all revisions. So you'll have sufficient time during this articles industrial training time.
So from what I hear from CA Veerendra is basically trying to tell that you need to chalk out a plan and then be very clear about how your final preparations are going to be when you take up industrial training because this is not
Correct,
going to be
correct.
a decision in haste. See, industrial training or articleship is part and parcel of the course, which will all come to count
Hmm.
when you become a chartered accountant. That is when you write your
Correct,
final.
correct.
So you cannot put your final at stake just to do industrial training. So that's a very
Yeah.
important takeaway.
Even
And
my article during articles, my mom
uh,
also said related the same thing. She used to tell that both qualification and experience both are important for a CA.
one without
Without
the
the
other is
one,
of.
it is no vain actually. You will be struggling a lot of times. So she used to tell always balance both the things. You need to attend the qualification, you need to get the experience. So both the things are also important. So that's the thing I used to remind during that moment when I used to plan for industrial training.
Right, both are very demanding. It's like you have two girlfriends and
Yeah,
you would have to handle both of them efficiently. You give little less time to one and they can screw up both. They can screw up each other and like they
correct.
can screw you completely. And yeah, we just spoke about how what kind of an impact that it has during your final exams. Now, once you qualify, what
Hmm.
kind of an advantage, like can I say it's an advantage on your resume when you've done industrial training, or how advantageous is it, like post qualification or CA Virendra with industrial training in IBM in his resume or CV, how good is it, like what benefit
Uh,
does it reap you?
No, definitely the big positive thing rather than frankly to say, because whenever even during my preparation time, so whenever I discuss with my colleagues during some study hours time, so when I tell that industrial trainee, there is spark in their eyes actually. Oh, you did industrial training at company. Even I did from apply for the contractee during the completion of CA exams. So whenever I apply for the firms or companies, so I used to observe that there is a preference for the normal articles. With 3 years of articles and the guy who done with the industrial training, because you have a corporate exposure, right? They have confidence like dealing with the people, so dealing with the auditors. So definitely they have a uh, they used to handpick the guys who did industrial training preferably. So I observed that the thing mostly.
And as I've heard from Virendra previously on the call that I spoke just before this interview, he told me that post exams also he continued, like even after that industrial training, he continued as his association with IBM. So maybe if I and
Yeah,
you would have done articleship in a small place, it would have been very difficult for us to break through that entire interview process to get into an IBM. Basically, but
correct,
I
correct.
think it made it very easy for you to walk in because you already knew the process and everything.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, can you just tell us little about like how did you, like even post industrial training you always have better opportunities than outsiders, isn't it?
Correct. Hmm.
Huh.
No, I was during the some due to some health issues and some crisis. I didn't financial thing.
Huh.
I couldn't concentrate in exams actually.
Huh.
So there is a situation that I have to go for some employment. So
Huh.
immediately I got thought of IBMs and I spoke to my manager.
Huh.
So just I explained the situation what it was going on actually. So he told me like there's a vacancy in the department taxation. So if you are interested, you can apply. Karke just he given suggestion. So
So
I
that's something
applied
that's
and
difficult for all of us to get in. We would have to go through multiple ways. Getting in touch with the manager is such a difficult thing. But he had an easy contact.
mm,
Like the way he called the customer care, he just picked the call, called the manager, and then he got in. So that's something
no,
that he worked for 1 year to get in. So that's something really nice. So that will
so,
actually put you at an
it's a big
advantageous
advantage
situation.
in
Huh.
a sense that you will get easy leads or references kind of thing if you work in an industry, because the people who are working there have dealing with a lot of people like so many audit firms, so many clients which have. So whenever you want to have some like leads or reference, no, definitely you'll get through the people you work with during your
So
industrial training
throughout,
time.
he's been telling that he got leads, he got help from people. But what you guys don't know is this guy is amazing, so amazing that you just ping him saying that you need some help, done. So that's what the other person who
Giving a
referred
lot
me,
of
this guy
burden to
told.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this guy is like very handy, and he actually gave a lot of references and gave a lot of job opportunities to people who he's in touch with on LinkedIn. So that's what I basically heard from CA Virendra. So it was really
Not much.
nice.
Whatever I get, just I'm just forwarding. Just I'm help. Just I'm giving
But
the
that
medium
needs
source of
that
the
needs
thing.
effort, no, like people are like jealous around, like okay fine, what if I give him the reference, he might get a better job than me. But it takes a big heart. And
It's
people
a
with big heart,
human thing. That's it.
and people with big heart come from small places. What is very what made me very amusing is, first thing is that he came from, what do you say, industrial what do you say, training background. The second thing is he's not from a big city like we people hail from, like Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, everything. So these people who come from a city which is not big like that, no, they come here and they rule it. They totally, like he's been to Chennai and then he like aced it. Now he's back in Bangalore and then he's like rocking it. So these people, where are you from? You basically from Mantralayam, right?
Yeah, Emeganur, Karnool district it is.
See, so people who
Nearby
come from,
Mantralaya only. Yes.
people who come from places away from this like big cities, they come and then they make these big cities more happening. So people from what do you say, small cities have big heart. That's what I basically heard. At least in this interview series when I heard, yeah. So, so that's really nice and sweet of you, Virendra. And finally, our
Hmm.
entire viewer base, no, are students, basically, Virendra, students at foundation level of
Hmm.
CA and CS, students at different levels of professional course. Majority of them are students who are at inter level trying to find articleship places or doing articleship or giving finals. So rather than answering my questions that you did all this while, do you have anything to tell to this group of students? Like when you were a student,
Uh,
you would have been
hmm.
wondering, no, someone would have told something to you. So what is it something that you wish you would have heard when you were a student and you want to tell to our upcoming chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost and management accounts out there?
So, who are the whether it's CA or CMA, CS,
You
who are the
can just
professional
tell in general,
choose? Yeah,
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 students.
yeah. Who are opted for the professional course? I mean, I can tell assure. I mean, definitely tell that it's a big step you have taken your career. So be focused on it actually, because you might get a lot of distractions. You might go like a lot of crazy troubles you may face it actually. But at the end of the day, the view will be different actually after finishing your professional course, whatever it is, maybe CA, CS, or CMA, because there is a saying like on the top of hill, the view is completely different when comparatively to people who are struggling. So just try to achieve it. And the people who are planning for industrial training, so it's practically not possible for all the guys who are there as a trainee to get into the industrial training, because it's practically impossible. There is a lot of less opportunities, but I preferably say that who are interested to go, just you can go and you can apply for the industrial training. And you may, if you get any help, just ping me or feel free to write me on the mail or mobile number, whatever. So just I will try to help as much as possible what I from my end. So that's the thing, and just be in touch with your seniors and colleagues, because uh, the thing is, what I usually believe is learn from others' experience rather than facing you on you, because they face a lot of things. So they have some learning experience. So just try to approach them, try to contact when you are in a session. So they will give some suggestions. And during the articles work also, you won't get 100% experience, whatever the firm, how much of big it is going to be, because there's a lot of scope, a lot of works are there in the industry. So you just discuss with them. So randomly you'll get to know what the things is going on in the market, and what the things the level of expertise you have. So it will be an advantage to you. Just be maintain a good contact with the seniors and all. So follow their sessions. So be in touch with the people. So that's what I'm trying to say. Yes. And all the best for the guys.
Yeah, that's really nice and sweet of you, Virendra. A wholehearted thank you for being here and then guiding all of us in how to
Yeah,
get
my
into industrial
pleasure.
training.
And
Yeah,
thanks for
and I
inviting me,
think I think
Rajvardhan.
everyone will be really happy. Yeah, the way you spoke, a lot of insights. It was very new to me also, though I've gone through the entire course. So it was very insightful and indeed very blessed to have you here. And thank you,
Yeah,
Virendra.
thank
From
you.
on
Thank you.
behalf of everyone who was watching this, I say thank you to you. And
Yeah, thank you,
and
Rajvardhan.
yeah, it was
Pleasure inviting
really
me.
nice having you on the show. And maybe sometime down the lane, if we can have any technical session or something, then I'll definitely ping you and then we can have you here.
Sure, sure, definitely. You always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. That's CA Virendra, and this is our video with respect to industrial training and then answering all the questions. And as I mentioned previously, I'll put CA Virendra's LinkedIn profile in the description. So you can get in touch with him. And if he knows any reference where there is an opening for industrial training, he'll definitely put in touch with you. So
yeah, sure,
that's,
definitely.
yeah, that's it for this episode. See you all in other episode with another expert on another topic. Still then, stay in the game. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.